Hello everyone, I'm Christine and this is Christine Sews a Lot. Today I'm going to be spilling the tea on the original Sewing and Quilt Expo in Lakeland, Florida. Just got back last night and I've got so much to share. I'm going to be talking about the shenanigans the Friday Sews crew got up to. I'm going to give you an overview of the classes that I took and what some of my takeaways are. I'm going to talk about the vendor area of the expo, what was for sale, what did I purchase, and then I'm going to give you an overall overview of the expo and will I sign up to go next year. Stay tuned for that. I wanted to start off with my favorite part of the expo, and that was definitely the people. On Friday, we had a meetup of everybody in the Friday Sews community who wanted to come by and say hello, and I'm going to insert some video footage here. I also met several viewers in the expo area and then also in classes. So thank you so much for saying hello. I had so much fun with my Sew sisters. We talked about life, we talked about sewing, a little bit about YouTube, and we did conduct some very important business, and I'm going to link that footage here.
I now convene the Florida chapter of the Adam Sews fan club.
Did you guys see his
I love
face?
his bag.
Oh,
that's pink.
Every single day.
Adam, we really did miss you. So on to the classes. I took 2 serger classes. One of them was a full day workshop, and 3 fitting classes and a finishing class. The serger workshop, we made a tunic. Now this is something that I probably could cut out and sew together in about 30 minutes, but I put a lettuce edge hem on the bottom and on the sleeves. I made the smallest children's size, which was a 3/4, so that I could make it for my granddaughter, and it turned out pretty cute. I did not need a full day for the class, but I still got something out of the class. I've never done a lettuce edge hem, so easy. But I'm wondering how long it would have taken me to get around to practicing that technique if I did it on my own as opposed to signing up for the class. Now the instructor of the class was really good, so I watched her teaching techniques since I do teach at the Sew studio where I work, and I picked up a few techniques from her on how to get the class's attention, keep things moving along, and the pacing of the class. The other serger class was the 5 zippers, 5 bags class. I learned how to install zippers with the serger. To be honest, I'm not sure if I will use this technique very much, and that's because it is pretty near impossible to get the same amount of zipper tape on both sides of the zipper when you're installing with the serger, and that might bother me some. It wouldn't on little projects. We made this little Kleenex holder, and let me see if I can show you. I was surprised at how easy it was. I felt like I had a lot of control over it. The zippers went in really quick and easy. Not sure how much I will use that technique because of the difference in the widths of the zipper tape. But I also really watched this teaching techniques, and I think I pulled a few tips from watching the teacher. So that was beneficial. I took a collars and cuff class with Jim Suzio, and I'm gonna insert some footage here of this really fantastic shirt that he showed us as he talked about the techniques in finishing this. And that was a little bit like drinking from the fire hose. It was a shorter lecture, but I was totally inspired to follow him. He does online tutorials and tips, and I'm definitely going to be watching him for some good sewing technique tutorials. One quick takeaway is if you're sewing a white shirt, you know how sometimes you can have the lining of the yoke. If you do a white shirt and you have the white fabric and the white yoke, it seems to stand out very white on your back because the rest of the shirt is not lined. He will line his inner lining of the yoke in a flesh colored fabric, and wow, does that make a difference. So there's your top tip for today. Now it's time for me to go all fangirl on you. I took 3 fitting classes with Lorraine Henry. I took a bust fitting class, a different shape backside class, and the fitting boot camp class. Loved, absolutely loved all 3 classes. I was inspired enough to make one of my 2 purchases at the Expo. Lorraine is a fitting master, and I'm truly inspired to up my fitting game, which was why I took the classes in the first place. I purchased this book. It's Fitting and Pattern Alteration. It is a textbook that is used in colleges, so it was a little bit pricey, but I think it's going to be well worth the money. I have not cracked it open yet. I just got home late last night. I'm going to have this laminated, and I'm going to have a spiral binding put on it so that it opens flat, because I plan on using this a lot. You're going to be seeing some pattern fitting on my channel coming up this year. Along with the book, I got this Measuring Made Easy. It has a little measuring system, and this I will also show in another video. Otherwise, this one would be too long. And some half scale pattern, practice pattern. In the vendor area, I would say it was moderately sized, and any kind of notion you might need, they had available. I will say the only things that I was tempted to buy, or that I did in fact buy, was this pattern system. This is a bundle that I purchased together. The only other purchase I made on Certiphoto here was I bought a quilt pattern for my friend Adam from Adam Sews as a little bit of a trip present. Loved the aesthetic of this modern quilt. It looked like kind of mid-century modern taste, and I loved all of her designs. So I'm gonna link her below. If you're a quilter, do go and check her out. I met her, very lovely young woman, and more importantly, I really liked her design. I really wasn't tempted to buy any of the notions. Either I already had them, or it was something that I could buy from work. Those were the only purchases I made. There were all kinds of sewing notions. There were 2 vendor spaces, and one in the arena, one in the exhibit hall, and there were some gorgeous dresses. Oh my goodness. I'm going to insert some photos of those dresses. I was really inspired in particular by this black dress that had little, I don't know, it looked like tiny little handkerchiefs is the best way I can describe the way the fabric was folded. Little folds of fabric in bright colors scattered very artistically on the dress. And I would love to do something like this. Whether I will or not, I don't know, but it was definitely inspiring to see what you could do. There were some beautiful quilts hanging on exhibit. There was one of David that was quite interesting. Comment below if you were at the expo and if you checked under the fig leaf and know whether he's anatomically correct. So all the major sewing machine brands were there and had big displays. There was fabric, notions, and it was fun to just go through and see what drew each other's eyes. As to my overall thoughts on the show, the expo definitely leaned very heavy on the quilting side, and the attendance and the courses offered also leaned heavily on quilting. If I were to be critical of them on something, it would be that there weren't many garment sewing options, and they tend to offer the same classes year over year. Now, some of them, yeah, you do want to offer the classes that sell out every single year and people are interested in that. but there was not a lot of variety compared to the quilting. And I'm not, at this point in my life, as interested in quilting as I am in garment sewing. So would I go back next year? I don't think I would sign up for the Expo again. I don't think there was enough that was of interest to me. Now this year, absolutely, I got lots of information and was very inspired. But if they're not going to be offering anything new and different, I don't see a reason to spend the money to sign up for the Expo and the classes. I will go and meet up with my sew sisters and other Friday Sews friends if they are going to the Expo. I had a fabulous time and I can't wait to see everybody again as soon as we can. I think that instead of doing the Expo, I am really intrigued by Lorraine Henry's fitting retreat, and I'm going to be looking into that. I had a wonderful time. My heart is full. I'd love to know what you thought of the Expo. Did you take any classes? What did you think of the vendor area? What did you get? Did you treat yourself to anything? Let us all know below. Here's the video YouTube thinks you'd like to watch next. Until next time, I hope you have a joyful week and you find the good in all things, especially sewing. Bye.